Hello. Today we're going to be talking with my friend Marianne, who is a soon-to-be college graduate. We're going to talk a little bit about her experiences with debt and some of the people around her, friends and family, who and their experiences with debt, and how she thinks America can get rid of some of its problems with debt. Um, First of all, Marianne, tell me a little bit about your familiarity with debt as you are a soon-to-be college graduate. I understand you have taken out college loans. Is that true?
Yes, I haven't taken out very many compared to what I could take out. It was just this last semester I had to take out some loans, but prior to taking out those loans, I sat down with my parents and made a budget to make sure I could pay them back in time. And otherwise, I don't think I would have taken them out. I would have either waited to do that semester or um, I would have found a different way to pay for those loans. However, I do know two people that are very close to me that one of them, they both have taken out 100% of loans for their school and for tuition and for their living expenses, which equals to about $70,000 to $80,000 in loans.
Wow.
Um, One of them used it for fancy trips that she went on and to buy a new car. And
School loans.
yeah, school loans,
Wow.
and she hardly works to pay back those loans, even though she has a lot of free time. And the other person works really,
What was
really.
she going to school for? What was she studying? What did she want to be?
She wants to be a teacher.
A teacher, really?
Mm-hmm.
Which makes a salary of about what?
35.
30 to 40,000 maybe.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And then the other friend has taken on the equivalent amount of loans, but she has made lifestyle choices that are very just meeting the very basic necessities, and um, she's working really hard. She works 20 to 30 hours a week to pay off those loans and then full time in the summer. And I think that that makes a big difference, taking out loans to go on vacations versus taking out loans and working really hard to pay them back.
Would you say that's rare for a student like her to do that, to work and pay them off? Is that what you found with your experiences with other students and friends and family?
I think it's about 50-50. The people that I'm surrounded by have always had strong work ethic, so I'm more familiar with people who are working to pay off their loans. But I think that there definitely are people out there who either don't have time to work to pay off their loans, or um, they just see it as free money, and then they don't really look into the future to see that for 80 more years of their life they're going to be paying hundreds of dollars a month to pay off those loans.
Right. So you think a lot of American students don't have, they're pretty nearsighted. They don't have the long term vision that they're going to have to pay this back eventually. It's not just free money.
I wouldn't say a lot of students, but I think that there are a good amount of students.
Okay.
But I think a huge contribution to that is that before you go into college, nobody educates you on how to take out a loan or what it means to take out a loan or what it means to have interest on that loan and how much that interest is. And
Mm-hmm.
I was fortunate to have parents who educated me on that, but I know a lot of other students had no idea about that, and then they're kind of screwed when they graduate college and they have $80,000 plus interest to be paying off.
In a down economy, right, where it's really hard to get jobs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you've taken out loans, and you said you've worked. How many have you worked your whole college career with and taken out loans, or?
I I've only taken out loans in my name this semester, and it wasn't that many. It wasn't that much to pay off. Um, my parents have taken out very few loans. I've been very fortunate to have a two income parents with two incomes who have saved money for me to go to college, so I don't have to take out that many loans, and um, it'll probably equal to being maybe $7,000 or $8,000 of loans for my all 4.5 years, which really isn't that bad. And we have all my parents and I budgeted it into our income and our expenses to make sure we can pay it off when I graduate. So yes, I have taken out loans, and I wouldn't have done it if I couldn't have paid them off.
Okay. Now, do you owe your parents the money to on the side of these student loans that are in your name, or
No,
it
they're
just
paying them off. I have to pay off the one from this semester because they said they'd pay for 4 years.
okay?
This is an extra semester.
Okay. Uh, did it at one point? Did you ever waver on whether or not you should take out the loans? Whether you should maybe take a semester off, work, save up the money, and then pay? Did that ever cross your mind, or?
That did cross my mind, but I'm working really hard right now. I work 20 to 30 hours a week on trying to save up money to pay back those loans, and then I'm working extra over Christmas break, and I've always worked 40 hours in the summer every week to save up money to pay off loans. Just because I feel like it's worth it to take out $1,200 if I need it. And then I know that I'll be able to pay it back because I'll be having a full-time salary income beginning in January. So.
I see. How else do you see debt influencing people around you? How about your friends, your parents, relatives? Do your parents have a mortgage? Do they have car loans? What kind of role has debt played in your family's life?
Most everyone I know has taken out a mortgage for their house. One family member paid cash for their condominium. However, I was taught that if you pay cash for something, it can hurt your credit value because anytime you try to take out a loan for anything else, they won't understand why you're taking out a loan if you could put down $120,000 at one time for something else. So I was told even if it's a 5-year mortgage, that's better than paying cash for it. And if you calculate that into debt, that would be considered debt. I think that there's definitely people in my life who have jumped right into taking out a mortgage and buying 2 cars with a 5-year loan and doing a whole bunch of stuff at one time that seems like they're paying a lot up front, whereas they're actually putting themselves into a huge amount of debt. And those didn't work out very well. The people I'm thinking of, it didn't work out very well because the car payment ended up being more than the income. And so that's been a struggle, but now it's not worth selling the car because the car is worth less than what she paid for it. However, most people that I'm surrounded by have taken out mortgages and they can pay them off. But I have seen people recently, I've seen at least 3 people down on College Mall and 3rd Street holding signs saying that they are begging for money because their families are going to be evicted. And I've never seen that before. So
Really?
that's definitely a big change in our economy is that people who thought they could pay those mortgages took out the mortgage thinking that, $400 a month isn't that much. And then when they lose their jobs in this economy, or they both, mommy and dad, lose their jobs, or husband and wife, or boyfriend and girlfriend, that $400 becomes very expensive in addition to paying their bills and buying food to put on the table and paying for clothes and all that kind of stuff.
I see. Knowing the problems that our economy has had with debt, I mean, obviously you're pretty well acquainted with it since you're going to be graduating. You had to look for a job, do all that kind of stuff. What do you think about our country on a national level in debt? Do you think we handle it well? Do you think we live above our means and it hurts us? What do you think about the average American? Do they need to tone down their lifestyle a little bit and not borrow as much money and live with what they can afford? Or do you think they're sacrificing enough? What's your opinion on this?
That was a lot of questions. What was the first question?
I want to know how you feel about debt in our country and the direction it's headed. Do you think the country has too much debt?
Okay. Well, our country has, I think it's like $12 trillion in debt. So that's a lot. And I think that the fact that our dollar is just a piece of paper, it's very easy to print that piece of paper out and put our country in more debt. For example, with the bailouts,